Welcome back to NCBA's Cattlemen to Cattlemen. Next week, thousands of beef producers from across the country will be here in Houston, Texas for the annual Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show. There's a lot of fun things to see and do in Houston while you're in town. One of them is, of course, the iconic Space Center Houston. Joining us today is Meredith Moore, who's the communications manager for Space Center Houston. Meredith, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, really, no matter your age, there's some part of the space program that's touched your life that you'll remember, whether it's the first walk on the moon, to the Space Shuttle Challenger, to the first rover that landed on Mars. And a lot of that is all here under one roof. Tell us a little bit about the experience here.
Yeah, space is so exciting. It's thriving, and there's so many things happening right now. And so you can come to Space Center Houston and really be a part of what's happening in human space exploration. We're at Space Center Houston. We're the official visitor center of NASA Johnson Space Center. We're also a dynamic science and space exploration learning center. And that means we're the hub, we're the convening destination for you to really come here to Houston, Space City, and be a part of what's happening now.
And you know, there's going to be a lot of food producers coming into town next week. We also have a lot of food scientists that are in our group. The food lab here is really something special to see when you think about the food needs of the astronauts in Houston. And I understand even beef has been in space.
That's right. So the food lab, one of the smallest manufacturers here in the country, actually is housed right at Johnson Space Center. And they're making all the food for the astronauts that are eating and, you know, living and working right now on the International Space Station. So food scientists are working on those really great nutritional plans for the astronauts, and they develop those foods right here at NASA Johnson Space Center.
One of the really fun exhibits here is looking at producing food in space. Talk a little bit about that.
So astronauts right now on the space station are growing vegetables and things that will actually be able to maybe sustain life with us when we go to our future missions in deep space, like when we go to Mars. We're going to need food that's going to be sustainable and keep the astronauts healthy and well, but we're also going to need to grow it and have sustainable life sources there on Mars. You get to see a part of that right here at Space Center Houston. We have a Veggie Chamber, a prototype, just like the one they use on the space station to grow foods like radishes and lettuce.
One thing that was really fun for us to see today was the mock of this International Space Station, to kind of get a glimpse into those astronauts and how they live in space for up to a year.
Yeah, astronauts have actually been living in the International Space Station for more than 20 continuous years. And we get to tell the story of that right here at Space Center Houston. You can watch a live show called New Perspectives, all about how astronauts live and work on the space station. We'll talk about how they eat, sleep, work, and really what a day in the life of the astronauts on the space station looks like.
And maybe talk a little bit about what attendees need to know to come and enjoy the experience. I understand that there's even some astronauts that come here and interact with the crowds.
We have a fantastic way for you to experience Space Center Houston. Simply go to our website, spacecenter.org. Our visitor info page is a great guide. And also download the free Space Center Houston app. That'll help you prepare for your journey here at Space Center Houston. We've got more than 400 things for you to see and do. You're going to see flown artifacts, including flown spacecraft from every generation of spacecraft. We even have the Apollo 17 command module, the last module that went to the moon, right here at Space Center Houston. Another great experience here at Space Center Houston is the opportunity to have breakfast with an astronaut. You get to meet a space explorer here. So if you just buy a ticket for breakfast with an astronaut, that's including general admission, so you get to see everything else the center has to offer. You can start your day early with us and really share in the stories from a space explorer, have that great time connecting with family and friends. Space Center Houston is a great destination to bring family and really spend the whole day and discover what's happening now in space exploration.
A lot of great things to see here and a lot of great history of the space program here in the U.S. It was really fun to see today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
When you're in Houston for the annual Cattle Industry Convention and NCBA trade show, make sure you land here at Space Center Houston. From Mission Control, Cattlemen to Cattlemen is signing off. But don't worry, we'll be back with more right after this.